Hey everybody, welcome back. It is Black Friday today, day after Thanksgiving. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Safe, happy, fun, ate a lot of food, all of the above. So, we have, as you saw from the intro, a couple packages that arrived. The first package, well, it wasn't in a package, but the first thing that arrived was a sleeve pulling puck that was machined by Dave. I'll put a link in his channel. He actually made a video of turning the puck out on his lathe for us. So he made that for Connor's engine to pull the cylinder sleeves out, and I test fitted it. It does fit the bore of the sleeve, but my only concern is the counter bore, or I shouldn't say the counter bore, the parent bore of the sleeve. That I had to do a little research on, and from what I could find, the counter bore of a Super M block or a 264 cubic inch block should be 4¼ inches, but I'm not exactly sure. So Squatch 253, as most of you know, if not all of you, was nice enough on his way back from some family members down in the cities here that he was visiting for Thanksgiving. He was nice enough to drop off not only his sleeve puller that he used for the Super M project on their channel, just in case ours doesn't work for whatever reason. We also have, let's get this into the light a little bit better here. We also have a series of items here. Sleeve pulling puck, and I believe it would be this side here that we pull from. Yep, that's got the machined edge in it, as well as the cam bearing removal and installation tool. So we've got all three different sizes for the cam bearings plus the threaded rod. He also brought us his threaded rod, and I believe this would be the pulling block, I guess you could call it. So that's what we've got from Squatch and from Dave. So I'll show you kind of the puller setup that I have that I've used on both the H and the M. I just had a friend of mine take some flat stock. It's actually, gosh, that's got to be probably 3/4 flat stock by 2 inch wide, 3/4 by 2. I took 2 bars and we welded them together, and then we have a hole that we punch through the center, 3/4 hole, and then I've just got some threaded rod. And I actually, on the M project, I used a couple 4x4 blocks that I placed along the head studs, and then I took a ratchet strap and strapped everything to the head studs and on top of the edge of the block here so that it wouldn't come off. But for this project, I opted to go to the steel shop and get a couple of drop pieces, and they're heavy. These are 6 inch wide by 3/4 thick flat stock, and my intention was to use these as stanchions. So basically I could put one here, you know, something like this to go across the block, and they're just higher than the studs, so they work just perfectly. And then I could put one possibly here Ooh, just barely clears the sleeve, so it's perfect. So then I would put my crossbar across the top, and all of our pressure would be down on top of these instead of on wood blocks. So I think just for testing purposes, we'll try my puller setup. But like I said, I am skeptical on, oops, sorry, there's leaves in the garage here. I am skeptical on the outside diameter. Well, they feel, you know, just by feel, they feel pretty close to the same. But I'll have to check them with a mic to, or a dial caliper, if you will, to make sure that they're the same. I mean, Squatches is, you know, they might be 1 or 2 thousandths different between the two, but I had Dave machine the bore of the cylinder section. I had him go, I think it was 5 thousandths undersize, and then the same thing with the parent bore section. I had him go 5 thousandths undersize. So this would be, on a 4 1/8 inch block, should be 4.125, I think. I had him machine it to 4.120, and then this section would be 4.250. Had him do 4.245, I believe. So we'll check those out. You know, we'll see which one might work better and go from there. Let's get the pullers set up. All right, guys. Well, we did a little work off camera just to kind of see how the first sleeve pulled, so that I could dry fit or test fit the sleeve that Dave turned out for us. The reason why I used Squatch's puller first was because we know that one fits through the Super M bore, and I wanted to get one sleeve out to check and make sure that Dave's puck that he turned out would fit in the bore of the sleeve. And it's a good thing I checked, because the puck is probably just a couple thousandths too big. It'll go into the bore, but it's too snug of a fit that I don't feel comfortable pulling it up through the bore with the puller, just because I don't want to crack the parent bores of the block or anything like that trying to force it through. So we use Squatch's puller. We got 3 sleeves out. Don't be upset that we didn't show getting these 3 out, because I've got the puller set up to pull the 4th one. And we've got, you know, I've got 2 videos on my channel with both the H and the M and how I pull the sleeves. And then Squatch also has pulling sleeves not only on the Super M, but he's got pulling sleeves on some of the Caterpillars, which are wet sleeve engines, and they are a little bit different. Most of the time wet sleeves are a little easier to pull, but anyways, sleeves 2 and 3 came out no problem. Sleeve 1 was very stubborn, and I'll show you that there is a chip in the bore, and actually that's the counter bore at the top of the sleeve, but that was the crack that we had found that was in the sleeve. And as soon as I pulled that thing or put some pressure on it and it popped, that chip went flying into oblivion. So it's a good thing that we pulled that out, because there's no telling how much longer that thing would have ran without that thing cracking completely off, and then you have a sleeve sliding up and down inside the parent bore. So we've got the sleeve puller set up on this one. I'll get my tripod set up so you guys can kind of watch as this sleeve pulls out. It is not an easy task as far as wear and tear on your body. When these things come out hard, it's exhausting on your shoulders and your arms. So let's get the camera set up on the tripod, and we'll start pulling. All right, I've already got some tension on it, but I haven't started pulling up on it yet. Oh, there we go. We already got a pop out of it. And I did discover that the wheels on my engine stand, they have locks on them, but the locks don't work. So I kind of got to move around. Oh man, this one's pulling hard. Once I get the sleeve up a little bit, where that counterbore clears the top of the block, there we go. I like to spray a little lubricant in there, just to see if that kind of helps the sleeve out. Put a little bit more on the threads here up top. That way we're not galling up those threads. Sorry, I keep turning the engine hoist on you guys, or the engine stand on you guys. And it's knocking over the tripod and so you can see this is a lengthy process. And you definitely got to eat your Wheaties. Hopefully I'm not knocking the tripod around too much. Whew. Okay, well, you guys kind of get the point. You just keep turning till it bottoms out. And I probably should have made these blocks a little bit taller, but they work. What I've been doing is, as soon as you get it about three quarters of the way out, it really comes pretty easy. Then I flip the block over, I put the puck in, and just a few taps with a block of wood and a mallet, and they usually come right out. So anyway, for sakes of saving camera battery and keeping the video somewhat short, I'm going to keep pulling on this, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, now we got to pull the cam bearings. So Squatch, like I said, was nice enough to send us his cam bearing tool that they used on the Super M. So we're going to take the puck, we're going to install it from the inside through the cam bearing, which is right here. And then I found in my garage here, I found this piece of pipe which conveniently fits right perfectly on the, I think this is its installation cup. So we're going to slide that through. Just put it there temporarily. We'll center it once we get the nut on the back side here. So centered, we can snug everything up. And now, oh, wrong size wrench. Now, we should be able to just tighten this nut down on the shaft. Let's put a washer on here first. Be right back with you. Okay, now we're reset. It's coming out no problem. Whoops, sorry. A little tight, but now we're going to have to double nut this. Getting a little bit of that one's not going to work. You know, it wouldn't be Rusty Nuts Ranch without a little confusion. Wouldn't be Rusty Nuts Ranch without some confusion. Make sure it's not even using the appropriate size wrench. There we go. Right. So there we go. Cam bearing is right there on the puller. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, now we can get the middle bearing out. And I had to use a longer piece of threaded rod because I just used the one for my sleeve puller, because this one, I can't get that piece of pipe in there to act as a collar for that bearing and puller to slide into. But it doesn't take much to pull them out. go. Second one is out. Should be able to pull it right through the front. There we go. Now we can move on to the rear one. Now the rear one has a freeze plug or an expansion plug on the back side. So we'll have to knock that out first, which should be really easy. Just grab a punch and knock it out. And then we can pull it through with the threaded rod back into the crankcase. So we'll get it set up and do it again. Okay, we've got the puller rod set up. I've got the threaded rod going all the way through all three bearings with a nut to capture it on the back. The puller cup is installed through the backside facing forward. So I should be able to just, once I get my adjustable wrench here, crescent wrench, and somebody's calling. But they're going to have to wait. Trying to find the best angle here. Almost there. There we go. Now we should be able to just guide it through all three, or I should say the other two. And there you have it. All done. Now we just got to pull the oil galley plugs, and it's pretty much ready for cleaning. All right, well, we got all the sleeves pulled. We got the cam bearings pulled. This is that expansion plug that I was talking about on the back side of the block. It goes right behind the cam bearing right here. I pulled the oil galley plugs. There are two here. And let's see, one in the front side and one in the back side, back here. And the two that are here are just a hex head or Allen screw. It looks like a set screw almost, but the ones in the front and the rear are a square drive. And I don't have any square drive tools, but I used a little bit of my noggin and I found my punch set. This punch handle is the perfect size to go right into that plug. So I just grabbed this punch, slid it in there, found the wrench that fits that punch, and it turned right out. So little ingenuity for you goes a long ways. But I've been talking to Connor here. I don't really know when I will be able to get down to my cousin's shop because I don't have weekends off now for 2 months. And when I say weekends, I mean Saturday, Sundays. So for me to go down there, I would have to get off work at 3 o'clock, drive a half hour here, that's 3:30, have the block and whatever components on the trailer, drive an hour down to the shop. That puts me there at probably 4:30 to 5 depending on traffic. work on the stuff, you know, till it's clean, and then I have to be up at 4 o'clock the next morning to go back to work. So that really doesn't work too well for me. So what I'm thinking is, if Connor can't clean it up in his shop where he works, I'm thinking we should have him bring it to a shop to have it boiled out. And that's probably, to tell you the truth, that's probably the best option, even better than bringing it to my cousin's shop to put it in his rotisserie cleaner, because that rotisserie cleaner is basically just a it's just a turntable inside a hot pressure washer is all it is. That really isn't going to clean out the oil passages or anything, whereas if we have the block dipped and boiled, all of that crud that's in them oil passages will come out. You know, for the most part, I would say 98% of it will come out. And then when it does come back, we can always hit it with some wire brushes in those oil passages and brake cleaner or whatever, and then pressure wash those oil passages out again. So I think that's the best option. I just don't know where to go to have it boiled out or cleaned out. I would assume most of your engine shops around here would probably know, and that's what I told Connor. So he'll have to do some checking on that and determine what he wants to do from there. But the important part is the block is stripped, the sleeves are out, cam bearings are out. From here, it's just a matter of, I think the next thing we'll do is probably check out that live hydraulic pump, see what's going on with that, open up the oil pump and check the condition of that out, and then open up the governor and check that out. We already know that the water pump is new or newer, so we won't bother really looking at that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So everything's ready to either go to the machine shop or go out for cleaning. So that's it for me. I'm done. I've worked enough today. So anyway, we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for wrenching with me. And as always, take care.